Hello from Canada. I have been here for around a couple of weeks now. We are in a 1 month vacation mode, just seeing family and friends. Of course, I had a daughter, first granddaughter and great granddaughter of the family, so definitely a must-see for this side of the world. I am just going to hop into the shower soon, but before I do that, I thought I would share with you all a skincare routine in general. And the catch with this skincare routine is I am borrowing a lot of skincare from family members because I am staying with family. So they told me to not worry about bringing too much stuff. If anything, I brought my own serums and of course the Roche Posay Cicaplast Baume B5+. But other than that, I actually have been borrowing here or there from my mother and my sister. I thought I would share with you all what that is. So let's get started. First things first, I'm going to remove my eye makeup, and this is actually one of the items I brought. It is the Nivea waterproof eye makeup remover. Funny, my sister and I, we use the exact same mascara and the same micellar water, which is the Bioderma one. So I don't know if it's my impatience or something, but she says the mascara removes for her fine. For me, I feel like I need something extra. Maybe I'm doing something wrong here. I decided to go in with 2 cotton rounds this time because I noticed with the one, I tend to have like smudging the next morning on this eye, and it's been happening for a bit. So just been going in with 2 cotton rounds separately and just waiting maybe around like 30 seconds or so for it to just loosen up that Heroin Make mascara that I use. And I brought it with me too. Okay, so there we go. I'm gonna go upwards. I find this has been working. The smudging not so bad the next day. Not too bad. So that's all done. Next, I am going to go in with cleanser, and even with water resistant sunscreen, I've noticed I just need to go in with cleanser on dry skin and it's been fine. And lo and behold, I bought the new Cetaphil Gentle Skin Cleanser. This is the reformulated one, which I actually like. It has, it says on here glycerin, panthenol. It has niacinamide, which my skin is completely fine with. The texture is exactly the same. My mother has the original version, so I tried that, tried this. If anything, I noticed the texture of this one may be slightly thinner. And that's about it. And I noticed this makes my skin feel really nice and soft. And with tinted sunscreen, such as this La Roche-Posay one, which I've also borrowed from my mother, or if I'm wearing my tinted moisturizer, either one of these, it removes well. And how I know this is because after I wash my face, I dry my face with a white face towel, and there's never any orange marks on the towel after using that cleanser. So it's safe to say that it cleanses pretty well on its own with one cleanse. So I'm gonna take just pump here, like half a pump. Same texture, again, slightly thinner. And now I'm going on dry skin with it. This is probably the most repurchased cleanser in my entire life, next to Dove soap, or Dove Beauty Bar, I should say. Back when I was in university, one of my uni friends recommended this cleanser. She had lovely skin, and so I purchased it for myself. I didn't really like the texture at the time because my skin was really oily. I wasn't used to this type of texture in anything, so I ended up going with the oily skin cleanser, which is a bit more expensive for a smaller amount rather than this 1 liter one, which was $15 at Costco. It was on sale, so had to grab it. Anyways, I've used that cleanser for years and years, but then you get into YouTube and CeraVe and Korean beauty and all that stuff. So then I kind of weaned off of that, and the whole thing with the parabens and all that kind of thing going online with clean beauty. I was definitely into that at some point. Right now I'm just whatever, especially with the cleanser, it's going down the sink anyways. So I really like that this was a $15 cleanser for 1 liter, and it's a tried and true. It's been a tried and true for a long time. My mother's been using it for a long time, and I know from the past when my skin was really reactive, I could trust this cleanser. Actually, fun fact, the acne specialist I used to see used to recommend the Dove Beauty Bar more than this, but this was still on the list of recommendations. All right, enough chat, time to rinse my face. And you see, it's not like foaming up or anything. I completely forgot to put the hairband on, but whatever. I'm actually hopping into the shower after this. Okay, there we go. cleans off really easily. And now to show you, because I did put on the tint today and some concealer, just quickly dry my face. And that's another thing I've noticed about this cleanser now that I'm, you know, older and I notice more things with my skin. This does not dry out my skin, at least not too fast after cleansing, and my skin feels really soft afterwards. So very impressed with Cetaphil, old or new. I like the new one because, you know, the additional ingredients they put in. But yeah, either way, both formulas work well for me. And actually, my mother said my skin has been looking better since I started using this cleanser, but also I broke out from travel. We'll get into that later. But yeah, as you can see on this white towel, nothing. I'm gonna hop in the shower and I'll be right back with the rest of the routine. Back from the shower, now to continue on with the rest of the skincare routine via my mother and sister's skincare products. If my skin is not doing well, which it wasn't when I first arrived, I need to go in with the treatment. I did bring the Cos de Baja treatment, the 10% azelaic acid serum. There was a little bit left, but it must have leaked in the bag because when I opened it to put some on my face, there was nothing in here. So this is a completely empty bottle and I saved it to share with you all. That is what happened. So that's unfortunately out of the picture. I can't get azelaic acid 10% over the counter here in Canada. It was years ago that this rule changed. We used to be able to, because I remember purchasing the Ordinary's 10% azelaic acid suspension at one of their stores, but yeah, they changed it. Don't know why. Kind of sucks, but that's how it is. Anyways, these are some of the treatments I have in my sister's skincare drawer, or the ones she recommended for me. So for this baby right here, this cystic spot that I haven't had in months come about, I was first using these two. So this is a salicylic acid wash. This is a sulfur spot treatment, and they were doing a pretty good job at lowering inflammation, but what really crushed it was using benzoyl peroxide. No surprise here, this is my go-to for really bad cystic acne spots. Don't wear anything other than white when you use a wash or anything for that matter. Make sure you sleep on white sheets. You don't want any bleaching because it can happen if you don't dry your face properly. So when I had the bad cystic spot, I used this once and right away it killed the inflammation entirely, and as you can see, it has gone down ever since. So now the maintenance is with this spot treatment, which I will show you later on. Right now, my skin I find is looking fine for the most part, maybe a tiny bit of congestion, but I don't feel like going in with an acne treatment. I will probably use this Vichy Normodern Phyto Solution Anti-Acne Purifying Cleansing Gel with 0.5% salicylic acid in the morning. Fun fact, I got this in PR. I think it was through like the influencer boxes or something. So I got this and a serum. I really like this cleanser, but at the time I was using the Paula's Choice 2% BHA solution, the really popular one. So I gave this cleanser to my sister. She liked it so much, she actually has been repurchasing it ever since, and this was years ago. I'm using it again and I really like it. I have to say, out of all the salicylic acid cleansers I've used, this may just be my favorite, but I'll save this for a morning skincare routine. Now my skin, I haven't used any cleanser since the Cetaphil one. My skin feels pretty good. Still kind of soft, obviously not as soft from when I cleansed it because I showered and everything. So I'm going to move on with the rest of my skincare routine. First things first, toner. My sister says she does have the round Dokdo toner, which I'm more than welcome to use, and this is the one I use at home. But I noticed something in the skincare cabinet that I gave to her years ago that's been unopened. The foil was still on the top, and that is the Keep Cool and Soothe toner. Does anyone remember this brand? I don't even think it exists anymore since the whole sunscreen fiasco. But I saw that this was unopened. She hasn't used it. I didn't want to use like skincare she uses consistently and use it up. So I thought I'll just stick with this toner. If I use it up, then, you know, I'll go with the Round Lab one. So just like at home, I've been applying this all over face and neck. Sometimes it's just one layer, sometimes it's 3. I remember when the sunscreen and the toner were really popular, I purchased a few of these travel size amounts, and then I purchased some of the sunscreens. And it's such a shame because this toner is actually pretty nice because it has I believe it had a little bit of urea in it, or hydroxyethylurea, which I like for my skin. And it has bamboo, and bamboo is really nice and cooling and just calming on the skin. Decided to do a few layers of that now to go in with treatment. So based on my last skincare video, not using any retinol right now for the summer, although here in Toronto, oh my goodness, the weather dropped so significantly. I was not prepared for it because I came during a heat wave, and now it's a little bit chillier, hence this sweater. I didn't even bring a sweater. I brought like a button up, but not a sweater. Silly me, but I bought this at Costco, 20 bucks. Anyways, now I'm going in with the one treatment serum. I'm not going in with the vitamin C serum or the peptide serum, which I brought. I'm gonna actually go in with this Isana 10% niacinamide and glycerin serum that was gifted to me from my friend, just like that peptide and collagen serum from the same brand. And I have to say, if I have a guilty pleasure in skincare, it's a 10% niacinamide serum. The first one I ever used was from, you guessed it, The Ordinary. It just made my pores look so good. I noticed it strengthened my skin barrier, brightened my skin. Unprompted, my husband commented that my pores looked really good. And I noticed the same thing with this serum. I feel like at this point there's so many 10% niacinamide serums. Not for everyone. It can be a bit strong, especially when you're layering niacinamide, like say with the cleanser and now with the serum. But for me, my skin loves it, so I just use it. Now for the La Roche-Posay Cicaplast Balm B5 Plus. My sister has the regular B5 version, but I brought my own because, again, I don't want to use hers up. Okay. In the summer, I just put a thinner layer. No need to go in with a thick amount. I love using this balm at night because it moisturizes my skin. It reduces inflammation around any active acne. It doesn't congest my skin. And in the morning, my skin looks rejuvenated. It looks really fresh and smooth. Had to free up storage on my phone, so let's make this quick. Finished going in with this, and now I'm going to top everything off with this Bepanthen cream. This is a baby rush cream, but it's also a great occlusive. My dentist actually recommended it to me, so I've been using it in targeted areas. So as you can see underneath my eyes, on my forehead where I get some dehydration lines, on the bunny line I have here, my nasolabial folds, and on my cheek areas here where I notice a little bit of crepiness. It just helps to moisturize and plump up those areas. Finally, on my lips. I have surprisingly not broken out with this. It does contain quite a bit of lanolin and mineral oil, but that's what I like about it, nice and thick. And of course, 5% panthenol. Seriously, panthenol, unsung hero when it comes to like the well-aging stuff. Sorry, that was not the last skincare product. I want to show you how I use this Japanese spa cream. I believe the active ingredient is sulfur. So I'm just gonna take my pinky finger here and just basically put it around this area, the chin. No surprises, right? It's always the problem area for me. If you've been on my channel many times, sorry about the lighting, but this is what I have to work with. That is it for my nighttime skincare routine featuring skincare products from my mother and sister's skincare collection. Hope you enjoyed this video, something interesting, something new. Like I said, this is the only skincare item I purchased so far at Costco on sale for $15 Canadian, a 1 liter bottle of the Cetaphil Gentle Skin Cleanser, new formula. Love it, and hopefully this will last me a long time. Have a good evening, daytime, wherever you are. I'll see you all soon. Ciao.